Okay, greetings, brothers and sisters. So I got a couple comments that, one particular comment that bummed me out yesterday about the Journey series. So I thought I would talk about this because there seems to be some confusion, at least for some people. I don't know how many people are confused with what's going on, in terms of me having to delete the whole series. And so, first of all, I just want to talk about what's going on with me and the channel in general. And so, I had a horrible month, probably the worst money month, financial month in years in February. Like I made less than $2,000 for the whole month. My minimum amount is $100 a day, or $3,000 a month, because that's me working every day, and the minimum cutoff of what I consider this being a financially viable job is that amount of money, and that's with donations and all the the membership. I mean, so without the membership, I don't know what I would have made. Well under $2,000. So that's a real bummer. Now, part of that is I made a lot of free content, like the content I put on the Gratefulness Meditation channel about heartfulness and Daji. The Gratefulness Meditation channel, I think there was one day I made over $20 on that day. The rest was like under 10. And so, even though that channel was monetized, it didn't make very much money. I think for the whole month it made like $105. So it really wasn't in any way. I mean, it's good that I got monetized so that I can demonetize the meditation videos, but, and as far as the backup channel, the new channel, the channel that I have on a different, email that's now about, the Heartfulness Dodgy cult channel is not monetized, and I have to go through that whole process, and it's 500 subscribers short and about 3,000 views short of being monetized. So even if after it is monetized, it's only getting 200 or so views. So it's, basically under $100 a month. So, anything that I post there is basically me doing pro bono work, like making content for free. I felt like I had to do that. And it wasn't going to be a great month anyway, because the first couple of months of the year are, after the Christmas budget, now it'll pick up a little bit because they're going into a national campaign. This is usually a big year financially, but I'm not sure how YouTube's doing it seems like they're cutting the rate. A lot of people, not just truthers, are being starved by the monetization process, and they're not. YouTube isn't paying them for the ads. I don't know. They're running cheaper ads. I'm not sure how they're doing it now, but we're all making less money. And so, in terms of this moving forward, I'm not making enough from the membership program to continue, and I'm not making very much from the monetization program. And again, it was already kind of a bad month, and I accepted that there was going to be a decline because of the making the videos about Dodgy and the Heartfulness cult, which had to be made. Like, I just felt like, all right, this is the time to do it. Of course, there was a lot of hassle and having to start a new channel and delete all the videos on the Gratefulness meditation, all the things that I had to do, right? At the same time, I'm having spotty internet for the past 6 weeks. Not great internet. The internet, like, sometimes it's fast, sometimes it's slow, but it's getting a lot of, where it shuts off for a little bit, right? Where it's like a dropped call. It's not, reception isn't good. And so, like, there's that, slow ping numbers and things. And my computer is wearing out. It's 4 years old, and it's having glitches. The other day, I couldn't open Premiere Pro. I guess it was Thursday or Friday. And I thought computer was done. And I couldn't use Premiere Pro as what I used to make videos. And I couldn't open it. It wouldn't stay open. It wouldn't work. When it did open up, I've had some issues with it before, but it's just, there's been lots of glitchy things with the computer. And so to get a new computer, the computer, you can sort of connect it through a Thunderbolt. You have Apple. I have MacBook Pros. And you can migrate the stuff that way, or you can use the internet. Now, the internet's going to be slow for me, but in some ways it's better because everything's stored on the iCloud. And, I need to get data off this computer and erase various folders. I've already kind of kept up with that, but I have all the way back to July of 2023. I have terabytes of data on old computers and flash drives, external hard drives. I have, I think, 5 terabyte external hard drives, and they're full of my videos. Videos take up a lot of data and room. And so I started to migrate things over yesterday, and it was very frustrating. I actually started Friday night trying to get things moved over, and I have a folder for each month of the year, and it's going to have 30 or so videos on it. And the problem is that the computer will download the folder, the video, but later on, if I don't access that video, it's not being used, it'll delete it and it'll just be up on the iCloud. So I have to download it again, and it takes, for like a Journey series video, it might take 2-3 hours, right? Just like it takes for me to upload a video. It takes, these 3-4 hour videos can take like half a day, depending on how slow the internet is and all these things, right? And so even my hour-long videos will take a couple hours to upload. I have minimal upload speed. Sometimes it's good, sometimes it's bad, like I said. So it took me a while to understand how Apple worked with their memory, and I would save these things to flash, to hard drives, and I've lost some folders, some documents, some of my books and things. I have them on other older computers and older flash drives, but it's a pain in the ass. So finding all these things, and I just am moving forward with it. And, it's expensive for me to get a computer because on top of it being, a expensive Apple, MacBook Pro, there's the issue that I get extra terabytes of data. So I have 4 terabytes of data on my computers, and then, I can do about 6 months of videos or so before I have to start deleting things. Like it saves all these files and things, and the rendering of videos and the screen flow. When I do a screen flow, there's all these small video files from that build up and add up to various levels of taking up terabytes of data. So I probably produce around 2 terabytes of content every year. So I probably have 30 or more, maybe even 40 terabytes of data in various places, right? In all these various flash drives, hard drives, and old computers and things. And so I want to preserve all my work, but it's a pain in the ass, and I don't have access to it. If I wanted to bring something back, I have to all the stuff that goes with it. And so I was trying to download these folders so I could move them and delete them off of the old computer. And I was having extraordinary trouble because of the internet, and the computer just doesn't work very well. And finally, Premiere Pro opened back up, and it's working, but it's shut down at any time. It's very glitchy. I'm having other issues, glitchy out issues and things. So I have to migrate all these things to a new computer, and buying a new computer, like a $4,000 computer when I only made $2,000 last month is not, great. Obviously there's some financial issues going on with my channel I have to address and things like this. So yesterday I was on the phone with Verizon for 40 minutes trying to figure out the internet issues and get the internet up to speed, and finding out that my options are limited, and maybe we go back to our old internet that we had. We've migrated over to Verizon because it was cheaper and it seemed like it was faster, but it isn't. It's spotty. So there's just all that stuff. And I don't like dealing with these kind of things, right? Luckily, for most of these types of things, my wife deals with, and I don't do well. I don't do well when I'm on the phone. They cut us a deal. Verizon did. I got called back from the supervisor, and the woman I was talking to was very apologetic. I think they were, they seemed to have a Hispanic accent or something. And I'm like, no, this is just who I am. I'm not mad at you. She's like, don't hold it against me because you're, she said it in a nice way. I'm like, well, it's just that I'm frustrated, right? And we watched that stupid documentary yesterday that left me, really kind of bummed out about the way Netflix manipulated and, was trying to, take a shot at people who are, looking for the truth, right? So it was a weird day yesterday. It was cold out and I was kind of low energy. My wife and I started watching TV earlier than we usually do. It was Saturday, just to take a break from, we were both tired. And so, I dealt with the Verizon thing after we watched the documentary around 4 o'clock, 3 o'clock. I had to make, a salad for, to go with we ordered pizza or whatever. And while I was doing that, I called Apple right after I was done with that, I called Apple, and I was trying to get them to tell me a way that I could make it so it would stop forgetting files, that my computer would just keep them on there because, it'd just be a lot better for me. And, they have these people they call geniuses, right? You go to the store and they have these tech people they call geniuses. They got a whole store full of geniuses. And there was no way I talked to this tech person that I could, stop my computer from forgetting folders, even though I have a terabyte left of available space. I used to think it was just because, when I got kind of close to being maxed out, my computer would forget files to keep, to keep it under the 4 terabytes. But, I'm getting messages that way I don't have enough space to save longer video files, which I do. So, it's just the computer's run out. I have to get a new one. And, I was going through all those things. It really frustrated, irritated. I was talking to Apple and they called me back from Verizon and they wanted to take money off the monthly bill or whatever because we've had bad internet for the last couple months. And I just, finally got around to calling them. So it's all these things, right? Stuff I don't like to deal with. And so that was going on, and I wanted to, cover. We ended up watching Oppenheimer, which sucked too. It's like worse than Barbie. I've already putting up a video, which you'll probably see before this one, unless there's some kind of issue with that, right? Like like demonetization or something, which I can't imagine it will be. But anyways, I was kind of in a mood, which you kind of hear in that video. I was just more frustrated than I normally am, and I've been leaving my computer on trying to deal with all these things. Migrating these folders over so it can make a speedy transition because the new computer, it takes a while for it to integrate all these things, and it's just all of it. And again, not feeling great about all that because of I'm just not making the kind of money that I need to call this a job, right? It's not, I need to make more money here. And of course, this is supposed to be a great year. The 2020 was my best year ever because of the ads, the political ads that are being run on YouTube, and then they charge more for their rates, and then everyone makes more money. So, but already it's not off to a good start. So I got this comment, and it was a second comment that one of my longtime viewers wrote. So my long-term viewer, the first comment was, I don't know, some time ago. Well, I guess this is let me read the first comment. So this is from like 5 days ago. And so it's great to see this up here. I put the journey, a new beginning. I think maybe for 4 Journey series videos, the only channel members I've seen are 136, 130, that only the channel members have seen. 136, 137, 138, 139. Non-members would probably want to see those especially. And, I blew off the comment. I didn't say anything. But the person was obvious. This is somebody that's been here for a long time and I've met. So this is like somebody who's more of a known entity. And then there was this comment here yesterday, and it happened when I was in the frustrating time trying to deal with all my computer issues. Thanks for keeping this going, Paul. Still love to finish watching 136, 137, 138, and 139. I only had time to watch 30 minutes or so at a time, but then they were gone. These are also the ones missed by non-members. And I was like, do you not understand what I said about the issue? Because this is a channel surviving move. Like, I had to delete these things because I got a copyright strike and a couple of copyright strikes, 3 strikes, and the channel gets taken down. And that's all of it, right? And so, all the content that I have there, and then having to start over, which I just don't think I would, it would be a really deflating type of situation. That's why I had to take such a drastic move, because they copyrighted one of my Journey series. So there's not an option of me uploading them. Rumble has its own copyright policies, as does all these other platforms. And, every time I had to upload one of these videos, it takes me hours upon hours. And that's me making content. It's just adding extra work that I'm not ready to do. But what irritated me about this is it's just asking more of me. Like, that's, always the wrong approach. Asking me to do more. Like, it's never, I don't know how many times I have to say it, Like you're asking me to do whatever, add links when people do that. I mean, it's an auto ban. Like, that's not my problem. I make my videos and I spend a lot of time doing this, and it's, a job, but it's also a service, and, whatever energy and time I put into this. But asking me to do more for you all, and like I'm not giving you guys enough, is always an issue, especially when I'm frustrated and going through, the things that I do every day that just to keep this thing going, right? The things that are nuts and bolts, dealing with technological issues, dealing with internet problems, dealing with the ever changing, policies of YouTube, and then, the hostile, kind of aggressive heartfulness going after, they didn't have to go after the Journey series. And I don't care because I'm not, they're low lifes. Like I'm not saying that, I don't expect anything good from them because they're low life people. They're stupid people that make stupid decisions, and they're, criminal in their aspect, and they're bad people. So, I don't expect that they'll do the right thing, right? They're also very fear-based hand-wringers and worriers, so that's why they didn't do it earlier. Like they could have done this years ago. They could have copyrighted some of the earlier videos. But I've been using content from Heartfulness, their clips from their channel, and so, and I could fight the copyright strikes too, because there's things that they're doing that are, it's editorial, and there's, whatever that is. But I mean, just in terms of the overall time-related issues, I couldn't let it risk losing the channel. Like I know, it's very arbitrary how they do with the copyright, fights and things. Like I could have got this strike repealed, but, again, I have limited time and resources, and if it didn't go my way, then the channel goes down, right? Which would be, all the content, and that's, everything. It's me having to start over. So uploading the videos, because you didn't see them, the videos were up. Some of them were up for like 2 months or longer. They were up in January. Like these early ones, the ones that this person listed, have been up for over a month, right? So, and some of them for like 2 months. So like they're obviously not a priority for you to watch, right? So like, why do you want extra from me? Like I got to figure out some issue, some workaround, because I can't upload these on YouTube. They'll be copyrighted wherever I upload them. So what should I do? Go to some third-party platform? Like I said, they all have their own, I have to relearn those things for something that, I'm doing for free, right? Like it's not compensating me for my time and effort. And I'm, dealing with this new channel, which is a hard thing. Now I have 4 channels I have to kind of, keep apprised at why I'm going through a transitionary period with all these other things. So I'm just saying, this is the kind of thing where I've made it kind of clear, asking me for more things or complaining or, whatever it is never a good thing, because you don't know what's going on my end, especially yesterday. If I made this audio yesterday, it would have been a lot more brutal. I did Sats on this morning, and, I'm kind of, I'm not feeling the frustration I was feeling yesterday. It doesn't matter whether a video is private or not. Like if it's on a members only or whatever it is, it doesn't matter. That's why I deleted. I could have moved everything over to just the members. But there's a tool out there that I have access to. I can look up all the people who are using my videos, and I've done this in the past. I don't have much time to do it. But YouTube's developed a tool for you to find out who's using your copyrighted material, and even if it's on a private video or any kind of a video, they can find it. And so, that's what's up. So the same things for community guideline strikes and the rest of it. Their bots find things that are privatized, and so all of those things. And, it prevents somebody from seeing something and whatever and then reporting it. But in terms of you can still be penalized for a video that's private or members only. So there's no options for me. And I don't have the time and desire to figure that out right now. I just have other things to deal with. Like I said, preserving the channel and keeping it going is a whole thing, right? It takes a lot of effort given the way YouTube has changed its policies towards, not just only truthers, but creators in general. And it's not, it's getting worse, and it's harder to make money, and it's harder to navigate the ever-changing community guidelines. And it's almost like they want to get rid of as many channels as possible. It's almost like the opposite of growing. They're just trying to, whatever, just to get the kind of channels that they want, right? They're being more prejudicial and the rest of those things. And then dealing with the the heartfulness stuff or whatever. Like I just have to stop making content on those other channels and focus on my two main channels, those channels that make money, and get back to making this a financially viable job. Right now it isn't. I'm making less money than I need to make. Like I'm making less than the bare minimum. I've gone below the bare minimum, like I said, of $100 a day. So again, I don't have to go through that again. So just so everybody knows, I made a decision that was the only decision I had, which was to delete all the Journey series. And what I do with those in the future, like I have them, and I think they're worth preserving and putting out there in some way. But I have to figure out a way to do that, and it's not going to be anytime soon, right? Like it's just going to have to be that if you miss the videos, you miss the videos. That's just the way it is. Like it's I can't risk the whole channel because people didn't get to watch the videos. Like you guys could be members. If you're not members, then you're not supporting the channel, and that's whatever that is, right? I mean, it's just a couple dollars a month is the cheapest form of membership, and you can would have access to the videos that got deleted, and those members who didn't choose to watch them for months, like that's how you budget your time. That's it's on you. I don't get into that. I don't I mean, if you don't get, I put out a lot of content. I know it's hard for people to watch all the content. Your time is your time, but the videos were up there for months, right? The opportunity to watch them were there, and you chose not to. So that's you missed them, right? Like I don't feel bad about you not watching them, but I can't change what I'm doing because you didn't prioritize. I mean, it wasn't that important for you to watch them, right? But in terms of this relationship, I'm doing whatever I can to keep the channel going, and I'm producing quality content and doing what I can't do anything more, and it's a downtime. I've connecting with the heartfulness meditation, the Dodgy and his cronies, and just every time I go to a deeper level of how bad they suck, because it's always worse than you think with them, and that's just a bummer. And then people in general, like I don't have a lot of faith in humanity right now. Like it's a downtime. It's a time where people are angry and things are coming up, and we're reaching the end of the whole thing, right? We've reached a new stage of, I think everybody realizing it's kind of over with the, things aren't going to change drastically for the worse, at least on a material level, and everyone's kind of dealing with that. And I just, I'm not. I mean, I'll do my duty and whatever, I think that I'm obliged to do and pay it forward all the great things I got from Saj Marg and things, but on a limited basis based on, people have to step up. People have to help out, right? Whatever it is, they have to, spiritually certainly, and then like something with my channel or whatever. Like I'm not, don't ask me for more. Like that should be the, if you're in a situation where something's going to come off as critical, or you're asking me for more, you want me to do more, and you didn't spend the time to, I made it perfectly clear what was at stake here. The reason why I had to delete the Journey series. I said it over and over again. If you didn't understand it, then go watch the videos. I put it in about 3 or 4 different videos and explained it. And so, I wouldn't have just deleted the series because I felt like on a whim, because it was, it was the only thing I could do. Because, the channel was at risk, right? I can't use any heartfulness material. Regardless of, it needing to be used, that's their copyrighted material, and, whatever. Like, I just can't use it because of the issues, and don't really want to, because they just suck so bad. I'm tired of, and the Abiasi's, like, I'm not getting any sort of material reward for doing the videos that I did. Like, it's a thankless job. 2 people came forward who were kind of on the fence. Few other people have left comments. One person is an Abiasi, or his father is. He showed the videos to his father. But there's a handful of people that have come forward and said that those videos were helpful. For everyone else, we know heartfulness sucks already. We know Dodgy sucks. We don't need more information about it. It was something that I did because I felt like I had to do. But, I want to move on from it because it's not just the organization sucks. It's the people who are in it who have failed, right? They've failed to do anything and fight back against what is the destruction of the Saj Marg system that they claim to love, and the disparaging of the former Master Chargy, who they claim to love. And the fact that they've just sat on their hands and allowed it to happen, they're disgusting people to me, right? I don't have any, and some of them are saintly and great people, but I have no respect for them, right? That they would just, sit there and go along with something and actually contribute to something that's, destroying somebody, destroying the legacy of somebody who done so much for them, and the work that it helped so many of us that's disappeared, his talks and videos and things. I mean, it's just like an atrocity, and they're just sitting on their hands or even cooperating and helping Dodgy do that, right? And but they all know Dodgy sucks. We all do. Like, there's no, he sucks, right? He's a dope, and he makes bad decisions, and he's just hard to listen to. He's arrogant. He's just obviously not a spiritual person anymore. He's a fallen, he was a fallen master, which is, a demon, right? Like somebody who falls that way. When an ordinary person falls, they don't have that far to fall, and they don't have that much power or whatever. But a person who's spiritually elevated, when they turn and they fall, like they become a demon, right? They become a devil. Like the devil is an angel, right? It's a fallen angel. And so, it's worse for somebody who's spiritual and had all these, has every reason to be grateful to God, and turns on God and turns on their teachers, their gurus, their masters, or whatever. And that's what Dodgy's done. And so the whole thing is just, I want no part of it, or the people who do it, right? To me, these are the worst people in the world, because they know how great Sajmark is, and they've allowed it to be ruined. And so, and I'm not saying they could have done anything to stop it, but don't go along with it, right? Don't sit there passively. At least express something about it. And, lurkers or people who are lurking and watching it, and, they agree with me. They don't want to say anything publicly, even in an anonymous form. I mean, it's just weak, pathetic people. And so that's where I'm kind of at right now. It's not a good time, so just so everybody knows. Only spirituality will save this world. This Paul Romano, definitely pouring for the apocalypse and the ascension. Everyone have a blessed day and be grateful.